Hello, in this video I'll give you my recommendation, my latest recommendation on a affordable VPS solution. Now, a VPS, Windows VPS is always useful if you want to publish something, if you want to just sort of test run something, you can get a very cheap one and you can just go with it without any trouble of, say, Azure or the difficult setup and weird errors and all that stuff. Unfortunately, you can also get ripped off of these offers. Now, this particular one, I will have a discount code coupon link. It is in the description. It will start from the 19th and it will last for a few days. The exact details will be in the description, as well as you can see that on the screen. So do take advantage of that. There will be some cases with 60% discounts, some a bit lower, but some great discounts will be available. So it's sort of Black Friday thing. But even if you miss that, there will still be some great offers going on. They always offer some decent discounts and some good offers. And they offer as well several different VPS options. We have Windows, we have Linux, you also have standalone servers as well as GPU servers, which can be quite useful for certain kinds of computing. So just to look at a few simple offers, I will later show you the control panel. We have ExpressVPS, which I do not actually recommend. Now, it will be perfectly fine if you just sort of want to test run something, a little .NET Core website, .NET website, right? Just upload it and launch it and leave it, or run a little service on your server. That will be perfectly fine. However, if you want to interact directly with the server, that is via the remote desktop connection, right? That will not be as pleasant as you might want. If you launch SSMS, it will just take too much of that memory. So it will work perfectly fine for your test runs, for the user interactions with your websites, your platforms, wherever it may be, if it's not too large of a scale, right? It will work fine. But if you want to directly interact with that desktop on the server, it's not really a good idea, and just for a few more dollars you can get the basic plan right here. We have basic Windows VPS plan, and I do actually recommend this one because you get 4 GB of RAM for a decent price, and with those discounted prices it will be about 50-60% discount, so it will really be a great deal. Now we have different sort of prices for how often you pay for it, monthly, semi-annually, annually, and all those different arrangements. There's also a little setup fee, which in my opinion it doesn't really matter. You have lots of providers with no setup fee, but then just a simple plan like this ExpressVPS will cost you like $20 a month. So I'd rather pay the setup fee and be done with it. And again, this provider, it works perfectly fine. I've been using it for almost 2 years. It's really a good option, and you do have some stronger ones. 8 gigs, 16 gigs, lots of CPU power, and quite a bit of storage as well. Another good thing is the bandwidth. You get 100 megabits per second with the basic plan, which is more than enough. But if you do a sort of a stream server, for example, where you stream videos, whatever it may be, maybe you have a live stream kind of an arrangement or just streaming directly to the user, you might want to consider the more expensive plan. Because hosting a video on specialized platform, believe me, it is extremely expensive. It will be actually more expensive than this professional VPS, even at its highest price, monthly is $35. And by the way, on those discounts, you'll get this a lot cheaper, so do consider that as well. But again, for video streaming, this is a lot better than your sort of specialized platform for video streaming. Now, they do encode and decode the video for different ratios and things like that, but it's not worth it. Those programs are easy to write. You can just do a simple .NET API, serve the videos through there, have several different formats sort of placed in your folders, take them from, then you'll have your streaming service on your own. You won't need to pay a premium, and everything will be customizable. So I do advise going with that. Now, they of course have lots of nice data and all that stuff, and they do allow for quite a few integrations. I haven't actually tried many of these, so I can't guarantee you that it works, but compared to other providers, they do allow for quite a few things here. So that's always a good thing. Now, in terms of Windows, we have 19, 16, and they also offer 10, which is a terrible thing to do. You never want to install Windows 10 on a server unless you specifically need that. But do be careful about that, because I have seen people run their websites on a server with Windows 10 installed, which is kind of a bad idea. Some things just don't work properly, and it gets messy real quick. So do be careful about that. Now, some extras, of course, they do offer dedicated IP, $2 a month. That's just a standard price. I see that everywhere. One IP, $2. We, of course, do give you an IP with your general subscription, but it's just one IP. If you want extras, you can buy more. Let's take a quick look at the Linux plans as well. If you're interested in Linux, they do offer some decent deals. I think in terms of Linux, you can actually buy cheaper ones. I haven't tried this Linux arrangement, but some platforms do provide cheaper ones. Again, with Linux, you can find more options than with Windows. But of course, the good thing here is that they do offer Windows 2019. Most platforms do provide that nowadays, but it can be a bit of a trouble if you want that sort of latest version. And of course, we have these bare metal options. These are sort of dedicated servers, and you have your IPs. In this case, you get 2 IPs. This is more of an advanced case. However, with this arrangement, it's probably good if you want a lot of storage, because as you can see right here, we have 120 GB SSD plus another 960. So quite a lot of storage, and for 65 you can actually get 5 terabytes of storage. So that's a real bargain, actually. I mean, 5 terabytes of storage, you will rarely find those deals anywhere really, especially of course on a server. So with the storage thing, that is an amazing deal, and you can buy some extra storage as well. But if you're going for that, perhaps this basic bare metal SATA plan will be your choice, because I do actually find it quite amazing. I've done a lot of research on these things, and it doesn't often come with that much storage available, so it's something definitely to consider. And of course, we have GPU servers, sort of a new thing, I would say, not a very popular thing. And these servers are extremely powerful. You also get lots of storage. Again, the general sort of idea is for video stuff, right? If you need to do some video management of some kind, that would be the way to go. However, these servers are also useful when you have sort of just in general lots of computing on a CPU that could be brought on a GPU. Now, it won't always work. You have to arrange your program in such a way, but if it is possible, it would actually be cheaper to run those processes on a GPU server rather than CPU server. But again, this is a sort of advanced topic, and it's something that you might want to consider if you have those actual needs. And in terms of the competitors, I do believe this is a good price for a GPU server. And we have some other things as well. We're not going to get too much into that. I'm just going to show you the control panel, what it looks like when you buy it, and a few final words as well. So for the client area, as they call it, a sort of generic control panel that they offer, it is relatively simple and straightforward. You can contact the support, which is quite possible. I haven't had any sort of real issues for them to deal with, just a few questions, but the questions were indeed answered, so the support does actually work. Now, if you go into the actual servers, whatever you order, you'll find it right here, and you can go inside it. Not like this, but basically just sort of click on this and you'll go inside that. You can cancel it whenever you want to, of course, depending on your plan, and then a few other things you can do as well. See all the data and all that stuff. You also can buy domains. Register a new domain. Now, as far as domains are concerned, I always say go for the cheapest place. It doesn't matter if it's the same place you host your server. It really won't make any difference. And then you can go back to the server. So it's a very simple arrangement, very straightforward arrangement, in my opinion. I've had a chance to work with Azure quite a bit recently, and this is definitely a lot better. Azure isn't worth the trouble if you're using the virtual machines there. They probably cost a bit more, and perhaps even a lot more. And it's just a real hassle to deal with all the default options. This is just a lot more simple. You buy it, it gets set up, and it also gets set up quite quickly. I've used a few accounts with this provider, so it is really a good option. And do check out my link with lots of discounts available through those days and probably after those days as well. This is a good option if you just want to get started, or perhaps get something a bit more extreme in terms of service. We do offer some decent deals all around. And with that said, we will conclude this video.